It is time for some gacha tribalism! Hello guys, Rookie. Today's everyone's favorite day. Today we are gonna take a look at the gacha review because this month has really been interesting in the month of July towards the end, and because a lot of big shots actually fell down a bit, and we got actually some quite surprise. But let's start actually with the trash. Haha, get wrecked, Integra Factor. That's what we get. Like, we cannot get a good Sword Art Online gacha game because of this shit actually exists. So I'm so happy actually it's falling down finally. As soon as US, it is anyway. Then we're gonna see Rip, Rip like always. Then what else we got? I don't master, don't care. Ah, the last word, more like the last joke, lol. Raga, the gacha game actually succeeded. So they are the core place that refuse to spend money on anything, so yeah. Also, yeah, get fucking red, Sarah. Get fucking red. That's what you deserve. That's what you deserve, bitch. Like, it is absurd that the strategy to survive was to bisogno di freaking mommy fans. We got, like, they released a shit on mommies to the point that we actually got more mommies than freaking motherfuckers in the game. You know, the character that actually the whole franchise is based on. The game itself is based on as well. Now the consequence of that is that, guess what? Yes, they're useful now because as soon as they release a mommy character, mommy fans don't care, they're not gonna spend any money. That's what you get for pissing only one demo gratis, etc. That's you get what you fucking deserve. Next time, keep making mommies. Let's see actually that goes for you, assholes. Anyway, let's move on. Rise still doing decently well. Especially considering it is a game which people don't really care about the protagonist of the franchise, so yeah. Impact third, same as always. Epic Arena, Pokemon Master, etc. I mean, it's kinda niche, so I'm not surprised that it's this low. And I think we can conclude the first round here. Now let's actually go to the 50, starting with actually the number 47, Limbus Company. Are still doing pretty decently even to this day. Like, I actually had quite a few positive things about Limbus Company. A lot of my friends actually only spoken positive things about it, and really cool to try it out someday. Now, it's really kind of surprising that it's fallen down a bit. I mean, let's be honest, guys, the only reason why people play as Lane is because reasons, so yeah. That's even more. This is also the reason why I actually surprised that the review is falling down a little bit, so yeah. Oh, speaking of falling down a bit, here you got the first fallen one. Ah, Blurkai, what have you done? What have you done? Oh my god, I don't think you're surprised that we not fallen this much. Like, but also you don't know that actually they changed the gacha system in Blurkai, because before there used to be a Sparkle Spark system that actually guarantee you a character of your choice of the limited banners if you reach one of the pools. But now that's actually changed because it's become worse, because in the past you could actually get one character in one banner and then use the spark that guaranteed to get the other limited card into that ban, and now it's not gonna be like the case anymore because due to the fact that they actually introduced the 50 system, if you actually do win the 50 system, the PD actually is gonna reset, which means you have to much more put to get both cards on banners. So yeah, at least for what I understand, at least from what I understood. So yeah, I'm not too surprised actually the videos fall down a lot, like almost half of it. People really are not happy, especially Japanese players, which are they are the biggest source of revenue of this game. And if they are the ones complaining, then you can be sure that revenue is gonna fall down because they really put the money where the mouth is worth. A lot of people really complain about it, and it's actually affecting the revenue. So we'll see in the future if it actually decide to change it or to stick it and see actually the situation becomes even worse for Black Tide. Because they are at the critical moment, so yeah. Now, Reverse 99 is actually doing pretty well. It's actually increasing another million. I actually did try Reverse 99 in the past. Kinda like it, but not a game that I actually see myself playing. Maybe a game that I could play on my phone. this that kind of gacha. So still I'm happy to see that you're doing well, because the gacha system is kind of friendly. The characters are interesting, the story too. Kinda want to go back at it, but not as a main game to cover to my channel. So yeah, let's see what we got next. Infinity, despite all the controversy, is still surviving. Like not only that, but actually is increasing the revenue. Like I fully expected Infinity to die after the whole disaster that was the relaunch, which basically changed the without the story and everything. And instead, still, to be fair, 6 million to the open world game might mean not too much, but considering it was spreading a few months earlier when they actually relaunched the game, I say it's a pretty neat recovery. So yeah, no way I'm gonna go play the game again after what I did with the relaunch. So yeah. Gundam, Glitter, good old Dokkan still casually putting 9 million, like there is this system in the world, like Uncle still got it, like putting 9 million for a shooting gacha game, especially considering Dokkan right now isn't 19th anniversary moment, nor in the half anniversary, Dokkan Fest, nothing, and it's still casually putting 9 million. The fact that this game is still putting these numbers, being as old like this, 10 years old, is still fucking amazing. Like, Dokkan is never gonna die at this point. Like, as long as Dragon Ball is still popular, Dokkan is still gonna do well regardless. Like, Uncle still got it. Uncle still got it a lot. Oh, yeah. Such memory. After all, Dokkan was my first gacha game I ever played. Ever. Like, I remember back in the day, like, at the school was so, everyone was playing Dokkan, man. Everyone. Nowadays a little less, but it still is. It's still going pretty strong to that. I'm not gonna expect. I'm expecting this game to yost anytime soon, because 9 million for shooting gacha games are a lot, and this game can easily hit the 20 million on anniversary. So yeah. Now another big fall down. Enfield. I don't know how to feel about Enfield, because 10 million isn't bad, but isn't good either, especially considering how big and elaborate of the world they have, how much should they invest in this game on a graphical standpoint. So only 10 million is kind of little. I do want to go back definitely playing Enfield, because I'm getting a bit like I never fully got in love with WUBA for various reasons, which maybe I'm gonna explain in the future. So I'm still looking for a field gacha game to play in the meantime. Enfield might beat, because like even if the combat is interesting, I really found interesting the factory system. Like we actually get to look into it, actually start spending much time of just doing that, and actually it's kind of fun. Not gonna lie. So anything interesting to see if it goes on the way forward. Like the gacha system isn't my favorite, but at the same time I was kind of lucky enough to get what I wanted. So, and then again, it's kind of the game that you don't really need the strongest characters. Both duo that can play worse, and the fact that the game recently in the main focus of this game. So I might actually go back playing it, I'm not gonna lie. But we'll have to see in the future. So yeah. The second big fallen one, Law and Space. So nice to see, but the cast is doing well. 2 millions more. This game is also very free-to-play friendly, so always happy to see free-to-play friendly games doing well. And also love this space. Like, I don't even know what the fuck happened, not to care. But I heard there is a huge controversy about the card, but I don't know actually. I really, because the revenue actually plummeted, like from 48 million 38 to 10 million. That is drastic fall. A really drastic fall. Like, this game used to get 90 millions almost. Like, what the fuck happened? I know that Mujin actually made a video about it, which I'm gonna watch it, explaining the whole situation. But still, falling revenue like that is almost unheard of. Like, very screwed up badly. Even worse than what Infinity did with the relaunch. So yeah. Legends, boo! Boo! Legends! You have to fucking yell soon. I cannot see you as above. To be fair, the game is more greedy, much more greedy than Dokkan, so it makes sense, actually makes more money, but still, boo! Boo! As soon as you fail, the better it is. NTE also spreading a bit, but then again, I'm not surprised considering how free-to-play friendly this game isn't it? Like, it has no PD system at all, and it's also a very casual game, so I'm not surprised considering the majority of the revenues comes from aesthetic, basically, from skins, cars, etc, etc. So I'm not so surprised. Actually expect the game to go a little bit higher, but it is what it is. Speaking of going a little bit higher, fine, about time Musume actually go back in track. Like, this game actually quite underperforming the several months. I mean, still 10 million, which isn't bad for mostly mobile game only, but especially considering it's the year of the horse, you expect Musume to do better. No, I stopped playing the game a little bit because I got kinda bored. Because he tends to get repetitive pretty fast, so yeah, but still in that, I'm still pretty happy to actually see doing this well, so yeah. I'm definitely gonna start playing the game as soon as they finish. Anyway, let's move on. Yeah, the new... I actually saw this game on Aura. Yeah, they actually released a live gacha game. I'm kind of curious to actually try it out myself, so yeah. 70 million, not bad for start. The original Arcanite's pulling punch, like, Arcanite's top 10, that was kind of surprising, like, Arcanite actually is doing better than his newer sibling, like, to be fair, Arcanite's gacha, OG Arcanite's gacha system is much more free-to-play friendly than Enfield, but even so, the fact that OG Arcanite's doing this well is crazy, almost 20 million, that's a lot. Speaking of being a lot, but also falling off a cliff, TG Pocket. This game actually used to do much more, now it's actually falling down. Are people getting sick of Pokemon cards? I wonder. Fate Grand Order, of course this game is not gonna die. Wuthering Waves falling down a little bit, but still going pretty strong, not to worry about Wuba, 27 million. It is still a lot, so yeah. And probably the biggest surprise of them all, Nikke 5th. Nikke 5th with a jump of almost like 14 million more in revenue. 27 million for Nikke is absurd. Like, what the fuck did you... Remember Nikke, the game that actually... yeah, the shooting game. I'm really surprised to see Nikke this high. Like, probably there's some skin to some laboratory event, because I'm not explaining it, the fact that Nikke is actually earning more Wuwa, what the fuck? Oh, more Wuwa, what the fuck, Nikke? Best in the deal, anyway. That was such a W to see. Now it is time for the top 4, starting from Naruto Mobile, which obviously the game always does well in China. The fact it's only in China only, and still gets that much amount of revenue, tells you everything you need to know about how much popular Naruto is in China. Despite Naruto ending like what, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, I don't even remember when actually it ended, but yeah, you get that point. The fact that Naruto is still going well, despite all that, tells you how much Chinese people actually love Naruto. And now for the top 3, with the top 3rd being... Haha! Finally we got to the match that said W. Like, the biggest W here probably goes to ZZ, like 15 places up. Went from 9 million for 36 million, that's a lot. Reniel Fett really hit hard. I mean, understandably so, because there some fine cards, so they really deserve the W, also because so much free-to-play friendly this game has been, especially for me in general. Like a free 5-star selector, not a standard one, but actually limited 5-star 5-star card, limited S-rank agents, which actually get bot time for free and their own engine, their own W engine. And you can also decide which W engine you wanna get separately, which means even more flexible options as a choice, so really well. But aside from that, 3.1 have been absolutely fantastic with Z. Like, I was a little bit concerned that in 3.0 Z was gonna go in the same direction on Casterelli in terms of power creep and all. Instead, that didn't happen. Actually, instead, with Remiel, they actually brought Anomaly back on track. which means the game now is more balanced than ever, except for maybe Rapture, which is kind of tough spot, so we have to see that the future. But aside from that, I'm really happy that Z finally got the SFW, because they've been improving the game over the past few months, over each patch, and that finally got the server evolve. They got finally the flowers, and so happy with not only because this is my main game, obviously, but because the Z team actually loves their game and really is trying everything they can do in order to actually improve it, while not trying to destroy the game balance, unlike a certain other game. Yeah, Spellet, it's how you sweep, it's how you sweep! I really know that someone is gonna be so mad once they actually see this gacha. I really know someone's gonna go cry about that so hard. Not gonna mention the name. Anyway, si surprised that Genshin actually thought Gastaray was gonna be first because they released in Mekonova on that, and also they collab Rin, which it is Rin. Like, I'm not a Fate fan, not a Rin fan, but I can't deny Rin popularity. So I really was expecting HSR to be in first place. Instead, good old Genshin still reigns supreme to this day. To be fair, they actually released Sound on it, so makes actually sense Genshin's feast, because that was one of the most anticipated character in a long while for Genshin, so makes sense. Anyway, Oyo, Swap, Oyo, Triple, Oyo 123, whatever you wanna call it. Yeah, this is our verse world, and we are just telling it. Much to is then to a certain core, but
that this was going to be ZZZ right off the bat, because it's starting from a really fucking low number. Yes, that is basically a 9.7 over here, going up to a 36 on the right. So a big increase of about, well, 26 million in the month. And we all know what's going on, what's surrounding Zenless Zone Zero, right? We all know what's happening over here. This game is on one of the most diabolical sort of like spending anniversaries I think anyone has ever seen. This is the day one sales sort of like tracker, right? In CN for every unit in the game. And so the game is literally on the downtrend and dying due to the fact that nobody pulls any unit that isn't a Void Hunter in this game. And you can see that there's a literal downward trend in all of the sales. Waves showing up only in 6th place, dropping down 4 positions, and of course losing about $8 million in revenue compared to the prior month. Well, this is what's happening over here. Wuba's down to 26. A breakdown over here from Sensor Tower themselves, showing revenue, and of course showing something really important down here: the global Android to iOS ratio. What this means is that globally, across the world, Wuthering Waves players play on the mobile. For every 2 Android players, there's like 1 iOS player. For every 2 Android players, roughly, there's 1 iOS player in the world. For other games, right, like Honkai Star Rail, for every 0.83 Android players, there's 1 iOS player. For Genshin Impact, for every 1 Android player, there's 1 iOS player. You get what's going on over here, right? All these other games are roughly at a 1-to-1 Android to iOS, yet Wuwa's coming in with the ratio way above everybody else. There's way more Android to iOS players for Wuwa compared to the other big games that you're seeing over here. Not really, AKE, that game is dog shit.
They really know to monetize their audience, because the fact that both the 3 main game actually doing this well, it means really iOS is a level that nobody else can reach right now. Because, like, they're like, not even more than 100 million, like 50 million Genshin, 42 million Star Rail, 36 million ZZ, like 120, 130 million, what the, 125, something. That is a lot of money. That is, sure, at the peak bot Genshin necessary reach 1 million alone, but even then, having free gacha games being this successful is like, Yeah, way back in front of the ocean. So that is so much. To be fair, again, ZZ deserve because they have been improving the game much lately, to the point that in terms of everything, probably it is the best game, both on gameplay perspective and also narrative standpoint, and also when it comes to YouTube friendly. HSR is still HSR for better or worse, with all the issues that were about power creep, HP inflation, but also I had to give credit for them being fairly generous when it comes to giving free cards. And Genshin was indeed good to give free cards, because you can see, even while being assholes, they still earn a ridiculous amount of money. So yeah. So all the big US games actually improved their revenue, aside from Impact Fate, but Impact Fate is a different case. They're just making the game survive just of the love of the game. So yeah, but overall, that's such the world gacha revenue. Kinda surprised to see so many big names fall. I mean, Blue Archive not after the controversy about the new gacha system, but like for example, NT, Enfield, Love and Respect. Like, I'm kind of surprised to see this many big names actually fall down a bit. Enfield in particular, especially considering that the original clients actually doing better than them. Wuthering Way is doing fine. The biggest surprise is still Nick. Nick jumping this much, that wasn't unexpected, I'm gonna lie. Like nobody could have saw it coming. Ticket players, yes, though. Anyway, and overall, I feel like everything less is mostly the same. Musume increased a little bit, other games. Persona Phantom. Actually, didn't mention that Persona Phantom Menace actually crumbled. Like, what the fuck? From 3 million, 1 million? I don't know how to feel about this one. Like, I'm a big Persona fan, but I never actually play Persona 5 the Phantom Menace. Both because I'm tired of Persona 5, and I don't think that from what I see, I don't think that game is actually a good gacha game, but it is what it is. Anyway, I'll end this video here. If you guys enjoy, make sure to hit a like and smash the subscribe button and miss any future news about gacha games, any content about the GACHA'S, etc. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye and take care. Ciao!